Here's a guy that is starting to figure the game out.
I'm calling both games.
And here he is, having the time of his life.
That is a disgusting act.
Does he get both feet in right here at the end, Jim?
Let's ride. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Rumplemen podcast. I'm your host today, Alex, joined by Steve and Matthew. We call him Wink. What do you want to go by, Matt? Matt or Wink?
You just do Wink. It's unique, you know.
Wink. Okay. Yeah. And Wink. We have a lot to do with you guys today. Let's see. Do we just want to get into it? Let's get into our bets from last week. So I went 2-1. Steve went 1-2. Wink went 1-2. So I was the only one that made everybody money. So you're welcome. Welcome to all of our subscribers out there.
All 7 of them.
Make sure you smash that like button. But yeah, so do we want to talk about the specifics of these? I nailed the Saints Pats under. My Rams let me down.
I'll go first because I actually had a parlay in to win. I think it was $850, and I think there was about 5 or 6 minutes left in the Ravens and Texans game, and my other 3 or 4 lines all covered. Cash out was at $300. I said, no, I think I got this. And then the Ravens threw a pick on the 1 yard line, and the Texans gave up a 80-yard touchdown drive with 2 minutes left. And then I won nothing.
How much did you put on it?
I think it was a $50 bet to win $850.
And you could have won $300. That sucks, dude.
And it was the 2 lines that I said were a sure thing on here. So fun stuff.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, I'm sure the Ravens money line bet, or just any Ravens bet on Sunday, screwed a lot of people. That was not an expected loss.
I mean,
people would have thought that the Ravens were going to go in there and just blow them out.
They did the Steelers did nothing that entire game until they threw that pick, and then it was just the Ravens couldn't do anything. I mean, the
Ravens literally should have blown them out by 30 points. So yeah, that's completely true. But like I said, division games, dude, they're dirty. That's why I don't like picking them. And
I don't think
like
the touchdown passes had anything to do with division games.
It is. The nerves come out of you, you know. Lamar gets the oopsie daisy. Here's the ball defender.
Those are surprisingly good passes Lamar had. There was just straight drops in the receiver's part, just lack of focus.
Yeah, but I feel I know Ravens fans are going to be it's all the wide receiver's fault, blah, blah, blah. But everybody else is going to see the ending to that game, and the ending was Lamar's fault, really.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Lamar haters are definitely going to come out and be like, Lamar, he's either running back, he's not a quarterback, or it's all his fault. But we talk about that all day long.
Dude, I said it earlier in the week. Every Ravens fan is either Lamar's biggest fan or they can't stand him. There's no one's like, yeah, he's all right. Everyone's it's all one side or the other. So anyone that watched the first 42 minutes or 36 minutes of that game and was like, it's all the receiver's fault. Lamar's doing everything he can. He's playing so good. And then anyone that watched the last 6 minutes is like, Lamar fucking sucks. Threw a pick at the one, fumbled. It's always
Sneaker Flacco.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get into our first topic, which is Chase/Burrow back? Are they back, guys? I'm trying to pull up the stats real quick. Anybody can start.
I have a very strong opinion on this.
What?
I have a very strong opinion on this, and this is the first time we're going to introduce my betting model. My betting model hates the Bengals this week.
Well, no, let's save the bets though for last.
Oh, we will.
I was just.
But I'm just saying. I don't think the Bengals are back. I think they have. The model shows very serious flaws. I'll explain those flaws later, but I'll leave it at there for now.
Okay, all right, Joe. So the 3 touchdowns, 317 there. Jamar, 15 receptions, 192, 3 touchdowns. That makes no difference to you. The model says they're still shit.
Model says you're still shit. Weaknesses are weaknesses. It's all about matchups.
So
That's true.
here's how I see it. So yes, Joe Burrow did absolutely explode last week against the Cardinals. The issue I have with it is that like it came out of nowhere. The past 4 weeks, everyone's been saying, "Oh, he's still dealing with the calf injury. The calf injuries make him immobile. He can't throw the ball. Like yada yada yada." So you would think that going into Week 5, the Saints knew what happened because they didn't have a bye week to allow him to rest. He didn't take, a week off from practice, or he didn't miss any games at all. So you would think, how can the calf magically heal in 5 days to make him go from passing for 180 yards and 2 interceptions to 300 yards and 3 touchdowns? So for right now, I'm saying, what do you say?
He did say that like the week before it was the first game where he came out of I think it was the Tennessee game where they got smacked. But he said that was the first game where the calf actually felt okay after the game. He did say that.
Yeah. For me right now, I'm still saying it was a fluke game. Burrow's not back, so Chase cannot be back. As Chase goes, as Burrow goes. Until they can do it 2-3 weeks in a row, we'll see.
Yeah. Let's hope you're wrong, because Chase is my team. I am the Cincinnati Bengals on fantasy, so let's hope you're wrong. Oh yeah, you got.
Now, with that being said, I am starting Burrow this week. I'm hoping he can rally, but my professional opinion is saying he is not back. But my fantasy hopes and dreams are lying with him being back.
That's good. That's good. We are professionals here, so we need to stay professionals.
I'll give you. I'll give you one stat from the model. It has nothing to do with betting. Arizona has the lowest amount pressure rate in the league, and Cincinnati is one of the worst teams when faced with pressure in the league. So when you're seeing Joe Burrow have time to throw, he's great. He can throw downfield. Chase can get open. And when he's got pressure in his face, not happening.
That's true. That's good.
It was a very easy matchup. It was a very easy matchup. If they did not go off for that game, then you're really concerned the rest of the season with that.
Oh yeah.
I'm with you. I think it's not like they're back. I think they are going to be like decent though from here on out because they weren't good. Like Burrow wasn't good. Chase was decent, like okay
for sure.
And I'm talking about for fantasy and stuff like that. I think they're like somewhat back, but not all the way back to what they were last year. Because
I think with Burrow, too, the calf thing, like Burrow's whole thing the last few years is like guys get open downfield and he gets them the ball, and then if teams try to cover that up, then he just kind of picks people apart. Like he can't, like the first few weeks, especially when people were getting pressure on him, like he could not throw the ball downfield because he couldn't move. Like he was not as mobile as he was before, and he's not super mobile to begin with. So if he can't throw downfield and teams aren't scared of him throwing downfield, then that offense just like doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm with you. All right, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of on the same page of like Jason Burrow not back completely, but slightly back, like better than what they've been doing the past few weeks.
Yeah, it'll look good.
Yeah. All right, now Jonathan Taylor contract. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Is it too expensive? Dumb money paying him running back that really didn't sound like he wanted to be there, but what's your guys' thoughts on that? Go with Steve first. Let's go with Steve first.
So, I mean, it's a very big contract to hand off to a running back. I mean, it's 3 years, $42 million, and I think more than half of it was guaranteed, like 26 some was like guaranteed. And the year when people are saying that the running back values are plummeting, running backs aren't worth what they used to be, you're seeing guys like Saquon Barkley signing an $11 million 1-year deal. Like, to see a guy get that kind of money over 3 years with all that guaranteed money, I don't see why the Colts just didn't do it to begin with if they're willing to offer that contract. If you're willing to offer them that much money and you're going to offer them that big of a contract, why not just do it week 1 or before the season started so you can have it the first 4 weeks? Why wait 4 weeks into the season, then do it and lose out on him helping your team at the beginning of the season? That's the only part I don't get. Like, Jonathan Taylor was the whole Colts offense. He is the whole Colts offense right now. So it's either going to pay him or they're going to trade him. I don't think anyone's willing to trade first round picks for him. So the Colts kind of got stuck with having to pay him. But I hope he does well for him. Like, I have no ill will against them.
Well, Zach Moss is like the best running back in the league. That showed last week against South Tennessee.
I wonder who has.
So why the big guy?
Wait, why'd you do
You
that?
got that kind of guy.
I think he was on your team at one point, wasn't he?
Zach Moss?
Yeah.
I have him in Dynasty, not like the
I thought you had
redraft.
him in our league.
No, I mean, like I said, I have him in Dynasty, sat him, and then I lost by, I think, less than a point.
Gotcha.
And I played Ramondre Stevenson in his place, and there was a 30-point gap between the two players. So I was very happy with that. Thank you, Jordan Love. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think, like, paying a running back is really ever the move. Like, unless it's, like, a guy like McCaffrey who can literally do everything. Like, you know, but there's, like, very few guys in the league that are like that. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of, like I said, dumb money. I didn't like the contract, and I also didn't like it because Vince has him on his fantasy team, and I don't want him to do good. So that's kind of the main reason why I'm crapping on Jonathan Taylor and the Colts.
A little bit of a bias.
So
yeah, it's a tiny bit.
I think there's two schools of thought with this. I think anytime you pay a running back, if you look at like the last 10, 15 Super Bowl winners, none of them had a running back that was like any sort of big name. It's like Pacheco last year, Washington Fournette, Damian Williams. I don't even know who else. If you keep going back, you won't find a good running back. So I think if you're trying to contend for a Super Bowl, you're not going to pay a running back a lot of money because Super Bowl contending teams are teams that spend on quarterback, O-line, D-line, maybe corner. That's it. But
I would say wide receiver too.
Wide receiver too, yeah.
Except for the Chiefs.
Yeah, but I think in the Colts case, I think they know they're not going to contend for a while. They drafted a quarterback that's going to take a while to develop. And if you have a guy, if you have a running back that has proven that he can, be successful even without good quarterback play, I think they're trying, the reason to sign Jonathan Taylor is not because they think he's going to help him win a Super Bowl. It's to help Richardson develop and have, a kind of a safety net. So I think if you look at it from that point of view, it kind of makes a little bit more sense, even though I still think it's always kind of dumb to pay a running back that much money because they're so replaceable.
So it's the exact opposite of what the Carolina Panthers did.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, we got a running back. We'll just throw a washed up.
Thank you, Tepper. Thank you, Tepper. I'm so excited for the future.
The Panthers completely just gave everybody away and were like, all right, Bryce, here's your team. No running back.
And your
no
first round pick.
Nothing.
Our Super Bowl is the draft, and they took that away from us when they gave up our first rounder last year for this year. So I'm not rooting for anything. All right, next thing, the infamous Broncos. Oh, Maddie. Oh, buddy. The infamous Broncos. Sean Payton, Russell Wilson. Is this kind of do you think Broncos fans are just damn, we're in it for the long haul, this is going to be bad for a long time with Sean Payton? Because I feel like everybody had kind of a shot of adrenaline when he came in, and they were oh, he's going to fix the offense, blah, blah, blah. But and honestly, the offense hasn't looked that bad. It's just the defense has been that bad. But it's fair to ask, just what's going on. What are you guys thinking about, with Denver?
Yeah, so, the offense hasn't been bad. It hasn't been good either. If you look, usually the first half of games, I think it's either the first half or the second half. One half they play really well, and then the other half they play total garbage. And it's happened every game with them. And he hired Vance Joseph to be the DC there, and that defense. Oh, I guess we just got to pick. That defense is just it's the worst.
Are you watching the game during our podcast? Dude, you're not completely focused?
How could I?
It's live content.
Unreal, dude. You think you know a guy.
If for some reason this game is close in the fourth quarter, then I'll be very animated during this podcast. But yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of our subscribers. Me and Steve do put 100% effort into this podcast, so we might have to find a third 100%.
until the Panthers play on Monday or Thursday Night Football.
No. I won't be tuning into that. Trust me.
But yeah, Vance Joseph's awful. He hired him and he refuses to fire him. And this may be a hot take, but I think Sean Payton's just. I said this before they even like played a game this year. I think he's been overrated for a while. Like I don't get the logic behind trading picks for him when.
No, that's dumb. Yeah.
Like if you look at it, like they won the Super Bowl. Like they had good and bad seasons with Breeze. Breeze left. They were like 7-9, and then he just quit. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to come back to this like broken team and turn them around, and they look worse than they did last year.
Dumpster fire.
Like, what picks did they give up? Were they high picks? I don't even know.
I want to say they were. Let me look.
Like a second round, you think?
Something like that.
Either way, like I think if you're not, I just think if you're not a top 10 team, you shouldn't be trading picks. Like that's the dumbest thing for a franchise to do. Like, and then the Panthers, we keep bringing it up, but this works for this example. It's like, you're not going to be a contender. So why are you going to give up a next year first rounder for a rookie quarterback who's unproven? Yeah, he's like exciting and people will want to watch because it's something new in Carolina. But in general, you just screw your future with just not having a first round pick when you know you're going to be bad the year after. Like you knew like you weren't going to be a contender even if Bryce was playing lights out. Like what rookie QB like goes. I'm pretty sure rookie QBs are like. Has there been a rookie QB that made the playoffs?
Playoffs, I'm sure.
Yeah. It was then Roethlisberger.
You mean
make it as like rookie
you
or
mean
something like that?
playing the whole year? Because I mean Purdy did it last year.
Well, just yeah, like in that. Well, exact. But like the 49ers, when did they take Purdy? The 49ers had what, the like 28th pick?
He was the last pick of the draft.
He was Mr. Irrelevant, so he was picked like 73.
Oh yeah, exactly, dude. But like the 49ers are going to be good. They're good year in year out. It's not the Carolina Panthers where it's like, okay, this guy's going to fix everything. No, it doesn't happen like that. So that's what I was kind of going with.
So I just looked it up. The Broncos traded a 2023 first and a 2024 second.
Oh my gosh!
And a 2024 third.
So the Saints have the Broncos first round pick next year.
Or this 2023.
They had it this year. They have their second next year.
Oh, they had it this year.
Yeah.
And then they have
then
the Broncos get their third next year.
That was so dumb.
Like thinking that a coach is gonna fix that situation, like when they paid Russell Wilson how much money is just crazy.
And I love how he tried to like hedge his bet and say like, yeah, like this team is like really bad. It has so many cracks. So, but I'm gonna do what I can. like hedging his bet, being like, okay, if we suck this year, that's the reason why. It's not because I suck, but it's because I like took on this situation, whatever.
I mean, Russell hasn't looked bad though. Russell hasn't looked that good this year at all. Like he doesn't look like the same as Seahawks Wilson. I mean, the mobility's a little bit down. He's doing a lot of interceptions, a lot of turnovers. Doesn't really seem to be. He just seems to make dumb decisions that you weren't used to seeing from him. I mean, I guess when he was with the Seahawks, they always had those comeback games, but that was probably because Tyler Lockett always just broke like a 60-yard wide open broken play touchdown every single time. So if that's not going to happen for you, I don't see what's going to turn this team around right now. I think they're just going to keep losing. They'll probably win like 3-4 games total this year.
My other half of the Sean Payton argument is that I think Pete Carroll is a really, really good coach. And I think he made Russ Wilson look a lot better than he actually was.
Yeah, I agree.
But it just looked like he was more mobile back then. Like he was always scrambling around, broken plays, and next thing you know, like there'd be Tyler Lockett or some other receiver 50 yards down the field wide open, just chucking it up to him.
Well, every Seattle season, they were like, we're gonna run the football and we're gonna run play action and let Russ improvise off of play action, and then it became this whole thing where they were like, let Russ cook. And it's like, no, Russ isn't a good quarterback doing that, and that's what they've tried to do, and it just doesn't work.
All right. Alrighty. Well, that's kind of like all the NFL questions. Let's like dip into fantasy now. Like through 5 weeks, I'll start this off too. We just came up with some hot takes on through the first 5 weeks, like, and we're talking steamy hot guys. So don't bring any kind of like lukewarm, like, oh, I think Brees Hall is going to be a top 12 back. I don't want to hear any of that. I want hot. I want steamy. I want ugly hot take. Okay, I'll start this off too. I honestly think that Thielen could be a top 5 receiver fantasy wise, in for this year. And the only reason for that is that Carolina is literally going to be down every single game. There's not going to be a positive game script that we're going to be in, or positive enough to like just run the ball, I should say. It's always either going to be a close game where we're losing, or it's going to be a blowout where we're just trying to come from behind. They want to give Bryce Young reps. And I think he has like the 5th most target in the league right now. Let me bring that up real quick. But I mean, if you're just gonna have all this garbage time, like there's gonna be a point where it's like, okay, this guy is gonna be like a weekly start, like you can't sit him kind of guy because he gets so many points from like receptions and yards and even touchdowns. He's actually caught like 3 touchdowns this year.
How many points has he had the last couple weeks? I know he had like 2 like 20-point games, like back to back.
He's good. Like yeah, dude, he's good. Let me see.
I just wonder if teams are going to start because, like, they really have not been thrown to anyone else. So, like,
who's that?
The Panthers. Like, Thielen's been.
Who are they going to throw to though?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like at a certain point, teams are going to start being like, all right, we're not letting Thielen beat us. Like, show that someone else can. And then another thing, even if they don't, if he's working, every route, getting open, catching balls, I feel like he's not going to last the whole year.
That's true too. I mean, like that's why it's a hot take though, guys. But no, I mean, like but like to your point of like, okay, like teams are going to start to catch on and like cover Thielen more so than other guys. They're not really going to care when they're up by 30 points, and like they're not going to be like, oh, we need the game plan for this guy when they're already up 30 points in the 4th quarter. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's going to like feast on those garbage time points, and it's just going to be like a constant story throughout the season.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see it.
It's steamy. It's steamy. Ooh,
it's hot.
Yeah, hot. All right. Ooh, hot.
Right? People murmuring.
All right, Wink, what's your hot take?
All right, my clearly unbiased hot take here. Austin Eckler is going to finish with the 2nd most fantasy points for running backs this year after missing the last 4 weeks.
What's he right now?
He only played week 1.
Huh?
He's on the some 40 burgers.
Oh, he will. He will. Dude, if there's one, not counting McCaffrey because he's just on a different planet. But if you watch,
there's no way he's getting that.
Every other running back in fantasy can have weeks where they just like don't perform. Like you're like,
they're not great this year.
Eckler doesn't do that. Like he catches 5-6 passes, runs for, like his floor is 10 plus points every week if he stays healthy.
I mean, yeah, Eckler's just like a sort of small McCaffrey.
You think he's going to be number 2 overall? That's hot.
That's steamy.
That's gross and hot. Yeah, that is steamy. It is very hot. I like it though. But like you're saying, he's basically going to average he's going to have to average like 18 plus a game in order to get there. Not average, actually be above 18 plus. So average really 22.
He can do it. He can do that. I had him last year. He went on some runs.
That's what I'm saying though. Like other guys are going to have weeks where they score like 8 points, and you're like, damn, I thought this guy was going to score 15 this week, and Eckler just doesn't do that. Like he catches so many passes, he gets so many touches, and he also somehow like is the best on the goal line. Like he scores every single time they give him the ball, even though they can't run the ball in general.
And there probably is going to be some injuries too to like kind of pave the way to get him to that point too. So like, I can.
Mike Williams is.
I can't see it happen, but I was saying just like running backs in general. That would usually be above him are probably going to get hurt and like kind of like give way to that, you know? Because right now Najee Harris is above him. I don't see him beating Najee Harris. He stinks, dude.
That's the only one above him you don't see.
No, yeah, maybe three,
professional
but not two. I called that too. I was just like, he just does not look like fast and explosive
everyone called
as
that.
a rookie.
Everyone thought he was bad.
Dude, everyone loved Harris.
No, you said as a rookie. I was saying, like, going into this year, I think everyone's just like, yeah, Najee sucks.
No, dude, no.
I always thought he was.
No.
I didn't think he sucked, but I thought like when you watched him play, he wasn't like at least fantasy wise, everyone thought he was like incredible, but he was just getting like an absurd amount of touches, and he was getting like 3 yards every touch. So like if you get 30 touches a game and you get 90 yards, people are like, oh wow, this guy's great. But then if you watch him, you're like, he's really not doing much.
I think he's actually averaging like 2-something a carry. Like I think it was under 3 yards a touch.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
It was pretty bad.
Warren is better in that backfield.
The whole offense is
I like Warren better.
Disaster.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Steve, round us out with your hot take.
So I don't really know if this is as steamy hot as those takes. But
Come on, Steve.
I'm going with C.J. Stroud, top 5 quarterback at the end of the year fantasy wise.
That's pretty hot take.
I feel like that's pretty hot. That's hot.
I mean, he's had like 2 back-to-back weeks. I mean, his game against the Colts last week was not the greatest, but before that, he had like a 25 and 25-point game. I think as he progresses throughout the year, they're going to allow him to start throwing the ball more. He's going to get more aggressive with it, be a little bit better with it. And like I said, the team's not great, so they're going to be down as well. So they're going to be doing a lot of passing to try and win some of these games. And I just don't think there's many good fantasy quarterbacks this year. So I think he can sneak up in there.
He's got a stud at receiver too.
I mean,
and we all know who that is.
Yeah. I mean, because you know, like Joe Burrow, like Patrick Mahomes, like they're not like doing great fantasy wise this year like they normally do. You have like Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields is pretty much the best fantasy quarterback right now. So it's not like the competition is stiff up there.
You're right. Justin Fields is one of the best fantasy quarterbacks out there. You're right. Say that again. I don't think Wink heard you.
Oh, you heard me. I can see his little smirk.
We'll go over this again after he throws 3 picks and fumbles twice.
Oh, he's got field stats. That's funny.
That wasn't even a stat, but you believed it.
That's true. We're kind of like going over, so I'm gonna skip a few things. But like this can kind of be like a quick hitter. I just have we just have a few would you rather, and it's just between 2 players. Who would you rather have rest of the season? And the first one I have is Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall. I'll let one of you guys take that. Because I have them, so.
Yeah. I am going to say Breece Hall. And I'm saying that because I'm thinking that the Jets are definitely going to try and get him involved as much as possible. He's probably their best offensive weapon right now. And it's not like Zach Wilson's going to be throwing the ball 40 times a game. So they're going to be handing the ball off and trying to end the ball in his hands as much as possible. Whether it's swing passes, short little routes, or just straight up running it down the middle of the field. I think he's going to get a bunch of touches, and he's a pretty good player.
Yeah. What about you, Wayne?
I would go Walker. I wanted Walker in the draft. I just feel like that, like, anytime you have a running back on a team that isn't, I mean, to say the least, isn't consistent, but, like, struggles to move the ball, like, that's kind of what I was talking about before. You don't know if that running back's going to put up 2 points or 20 points. And those are the kind of players in fantasy that are, like, really tough to own. If the Jets end up getting rid of Wilson and getting even, like, someone like Tyrod Taylor or, like, someone like that that's played and, like, can somewhat move the ball, then I can see him being a lot more valuable, which I think is going to happen in the next few weeks. I don't think they can keep starting Wilson.
I hope to God that happens because that would help. That would help Hall. That would help Wilson. That would just help. Honestly, it would help the Jets' defense too.
Oh yeah.
Because like the defense, you're not going to be good, and like when you're the quarterback of your team keeps on turning the ball over and they keep on 40 yards to get a touchdown. I don't know. The only thing about I think I'm just going to go Hall because I think he's going to have 20 opportunities a game. 20 plus, I should say. And I think they're going to like kind of work him in and get more snaps out of him, hopefully. Because he only played like 52% of snaps last week. And that's when they were like, okay, like Hall is full go. So that kind of scares me a little bit. And then Walker, I don't know. They've been so weird with Walker. Like the first 4 games, I think he played like 50% of snaps. I think he had one game at 60% of snaps. And then this last game that they played against the Giants last Thursday night, he got like 70% of snaps, which doesn't make any sense to me. I hope that's what he keeps getting. And if he keeps on hitting that like 65 to 70% snap count range, then I think it's like clear cut. Walker's probably the best bet because he does have that ability to like. And Seattle's a good offense too.
Yeah, I just feel like the quality of touches is a lot better on Seattle.
Yeah,
like you're not just running
into
a stacked box like Hall is most of the time. Like you're getting spaced around.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I think that's kind of like going to be the biggest key from that. All right, next is Fields or Tua. Wink, you want to fill us in on that since you're a Fields lover?
I mean, it's Tua without a doubt.
Oh my!
Yeah.
No, that's a debate, dude.
It's not even close.
Without a doubt.
It's not even close.
Stop being biased. This is a professional atmosphere, okay? First you're watching the Chiefs game, then you're bringing your biased opinions. Or like our subscribers are counting on us to like make trade decisions and start sit decisions, and you're gonna bring up that kind of stuff.
It's wild that people like watch Justin Fields play 20 games of football where like this guy fucking sucks, and then they watch him play the 2 worst defenses in the league, and they're like, "Oh, he's back, baby." He's going to play an average defense, and he's going to look absolutely horrible again. And everyone's going to do the same thing, and then he's going to play some other shitty defense at some point in the season. And everyone's going to be like, "Oh, there it is. Maybe they should just surround him with more."
Dude, he's back. He's back, dude. He's back.
And then comparing that to Tua, who has like 8 different guys that are running 4.2s running around him, he doesn't even have to do anything.
What do you think, Steve?
I mean, I'm with the Wink. I think it's Tua hands down. It's not even close. I mean, Tua's on the better team.
You were saying that on Word yesterday.
Like I said, the Dolphins are the better team, better coach, better offensive weapons. And like Tua's never had that many bad games in a row. Like Fields has had years in a row playing bad. He's hot right now, and he maybe get a couple more hot games in there. But if I had this team on my team, I'm starting Tua. Majority of the time.
I can understand if you guys are saying like, yeah, I'd take Tua over Fields like that, like, and I can understand like if you brought up a good point, but for you guys to say that like it's no question, no doubt about it, Tua over Fields, like that's wrong. That is completely wrong, and it's because Tua. I mean, I feel like there's so many pieces in that offense and they could score so many ways that it could be 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns in a game, and then Tua maybe has 1 passing touchdown for 300 yards in the air.
Yeah, but
they
just scored 70 points in a game. Like it's not like if they score 3 rushing touchdowns.
How often are they going to score 70 points?
No, but I'm saying like they're clearly a team that isn't like going to stop throwing because they're up by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Like,
no, I'm not saying that they're going to stop throwing. I'm saying that like on any given day, it could be anybody, and it could be 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns by Mostert, Tyreek, and Achane when he comes back.
And on any day, Justin Fields could throw 3 picks and fumble twice.
But no, that's the thing. That's like in Chicago, it's all Justin Fields. Like there's no other way of scoring touchdowns because they sucked running the ball.
That's
like the offense what?
That means that he's the only way they're going to move the ball. So if he's playing bad,
exactly,
which he does, but the majority of the time.
But the thing is, he can play bad and still score fantasy points. We're not saying like who's the better NFL quarterback, who's going to be better for fantasy. That's the question. And I think it is Fields because he can hit you in so many different ways. They're finally running the ball. Like he had the past 3 games, he's had 11 attempts, 4 attempts, and 11 attempts. So he's getting more involved in the run game. And he has looked decent as a passer. You can't deny it. Like the past 2 games, I understand that it's against 2 worst defenses in the league. But like he still has to make those throws, and he did.
What was his numbers
like? So I think it's Fields. What?
Well, like, what was his numbers last game? Like completions, attempts, completions.
He had 50. He was completing a little over 50% of his passes. 282, 4 touchdowns. That's the
Wait.
biggest thing, four
What
touchdowns.
was the attempts, completions though?
You want to know the Denver game? He was 28 of 35.
No, I want to know the Washington game.
Great completion percentage. Great.
What was the
Wow,
Washington
great
game?
catch. What?
What was the Washington game? The listeners want to know.
I just told you. It's a little over 50%.
No, I want the numbers.
15 for 29. But either way, like,
You
my
just said
personal stance is that everything goes through Justin Fields.
You just said
And I
he
think
looked
that's
great
gonna-
throwing the ball the last 2 weeks, and he was barely over 50% passing last week.
All right, he had a couple of overthrows. His receivers couldn't get open. I'm sorry, okay? It's not on Justin Fields.
Do you know, like, if you watched that game last week, I think 3 of Moore's big catches were out routes to him that the corner tried to pick off and missed, and then Moore was just wide open.
No, you're thinking about the wrong Fields and DJ Moore combo, dude. You must be thinking about something else, a different sport or something. I don't know. All right, next question is Thielen or Collins? So Adam Thielen or Nico Collins? Go ahead, Wink. Start us off.
I mean, this one's a no-brainer.
Don't you dare.
You should know better than anyone. It's Nico.
Oh my gosh, dude. Again, we're trying to give professional
Wait, are we
opinion.
talking about even week Nico or odd week Nico?
We're talking about rest
That's
of
a
the
good
season.
point.
Nico.
Even week Nico is a different beast. That's
Is
20,
that right?
That's 20 a game.
Oh my gosh, dude. So you're taking Collins over Thielen like this? Do you have any reasoning to that, or?
Yeah, the offense is better. They're going to move the ball. I don't think Thielen we watched Thielen last year and he wasn't great. Like, he was all right.
Yeah, but you've got 5 weeks of him this year,
Yeah,
and he has been good.
he's been good like the last 3 weeks, right? The first 2 weeks he wasn't great.
You're saying the first 3 weeks he hasn't been great?
No, I think the first 2 weeks he wasn't great.
No, he's
Oh my
been
goodness.
like actually
just
pretty
scored.
good. I was just on his team. Damn it! All right, hold on. Let me bring it up. No, he's actually been like pretty solid.
What was his scores each week?
The first game he was bad. It was 2 receptions, 2 targets, 12 yards. But after that, these are targets 9, 14, 8, 13. And then his yards, 54, 145, 76, 107. And that 54 yard game had a touchdown. So he's been averaging probably like close to 15 points a game the past 4 weeks.
I just can't imagine that offense is just going to their MO this whole season is just going to be to feed Adam Thielen the ball.
Dude, that's what you'd think. Like, I saw this interview and they were like, yeah, like Reich is an idiot, but he was just like, yeah, we called a play for Thielen, but we didn't see him out there, so we had to call a timeout. So, I mean, I think it's like kind of instilled in Carolina, like we need to get Thielen involved and give him the ball a lot.
Yeah, but over the season, they're going to have to get other guys going too.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised.
All right, 1 extra point down. Sorry.
All right, but I'm taking Thielen. You heard my hot take. I think he could be a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL or for fantasy. And that's just, again, I kind of my Fields and Thielen points go hand in hand, where it's like there's not really many ways to move the ball for Carolina right now. Thielen's doing decent and getting the targets, and I don't think that's going away anytime soon. I don't think. Like Mingo, I think he might get more involved, but Chark has been an afterthought unless Andy Dalton is playing. Hayden Hurst, I forgot we even had him for the past 2 weeks because he just haven't thrown the ball and he's a good tight end, which makes no sense. And then we can't move the ball at all on the ground. So I think Thielen, just by sheer volume, he's going to be good because Nico, it could be Nico, it could be Tank Dell, it could be Damian Pierce, it could be Stroud, it could be anybody. Mainly between Tank Dell and Nico, they kind of go back and forth. And I don't know. I don't like those boomer bust guys as much as like constant contributors. Yeah, Steve, what do you think?
So yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you, Alex. I think I'd rather have Adam Thielen over Nico Collins. He's really only had one bad fantasy game this year, like that first week.
Yeah.
Besides that, he's been putting up 10 plus points. I mean, 20 plus points in a couple of them. This has been there's been really no signs of him going to get worse. Like I think he's just going to continue to put up 10 points a game, be one of their only targets receiver wise. Now, as Bryce Young starts playing just god awful and starts throwing multiple picks a game, like he's done a couple times, it could be a little rough. But yeah, I'm going to say for right now, Adam Thielen and Nico Collins.
Let's go. Thank you for giving your professional opinion, not being biased about it, Steve. We really do appreciate that on this podcast.
You're welcome.
It's your fault for posing
that
question.
I've seen this on a lot of YouTube videos. If you're still tuned in, smash that like button. Give us a like. Yeah, there we go.
Subscribe.
Okay. All right, and last but not least, like I think this is probably, I don't know, I like this a lot. Would you rather have David Montgomery or Bijan rest of the season? And Steve, you can start us out because you're in
Montgomery. I'll start this one because I got Montgomery. It's going to be a biased opinion, but I mean, I'm going to say David Montgomery. He's been.
What did we just talk about, Steve? What did we just talk about?
Well, here's the difference. Here's the difference. Like, there's actually, like, he's been playing really, really well these first 5 weeks.
Agreed. Okay. All right. So you got numbers to back your stuff, not just like, okay, this is what I think and what I believe in. It's on my team. Okay, good.
Steve said he's been playing really well these first 5 weeks, and you go, you got numbers.
See, like, I mean, coming into the season, people thought that it was going to be like a 50-50 split with him and Jahmyr Gibbs, and eventually Jahmyr, I can't pronounce his name right now. Gibbs is going to take over, but coming off that 33-point game against the Packers last week, and following up with another, I think it was like 12 points or something like that. Montgomery is definitely the RB1 on that team. He is their workhorse. He's getting all the goal line touches, and I think it's just going to continue to be that back the entire year. Now, Bijan, he was the Falcons' first-round pick. People were drafting him like 4th, 5th, 6th overall in fantasy. They thought that, the star young player on the team is going to get 30 touches a game, put up yards, put up points. But I just think that Falcons' offense sucks. And this is coming from a guy that has Drake London and continues to start on week after week. He's hoping for something. But, like, I don't think Desmond Ritter's very good. They don't have an excellent O-line. It's not like that team is going to be up and winning. It's not like the team's going to be up and winning a lot of games where they're going to be feeding Bijan the ball. It's just a kill clock, or I don't see them having many consistent goal line touches. I think they're going to be throwing the ball a lot of times being down. They're not going to be moving the ball. So unless they get the ball on their side of the field, he's not going to be close to the end zone.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I think Montgomery, like, I think it's close, but Montgomery is like Bijan is obviously the shiny toy, and Montgomery is just that, like, old reliable, whatever tool you want to use in the corner that's always there to, like, do damage. So, yeah, no, I like that. I like Montgomery better rest of the season, too. And, like, you kind of hit all the points. I don't really need to go into detail. Wink, do you agree with us or do you not agree with us?
I agree with this. Did you hear, I think it was Austin Eckler was on it might have been his podcast, but he was saying basically, like, when you watch them both play, he was like, you can tell Gibbs is a rookie. And when you, like, like, little stuff.
I did see that, yeah.
The way he cuts, like, the way he blocks. And, like, I think Montgomery's going to continue to get, like, the majority of work. With that being said, my boy Ritter's back. High flying last week. I'm buying stock. I'm back in Ritter camp. Just wanted to make that known.
See, Fields to me is Ritter to you. That's kind of like hand in hand. Wouldn't you agree with that?
No, because Ritter's got talent.
Except no, yeah, exactly. Fields just put up like 35, 40-point games the past 2 weeks, but he doesn't have any talent. Whatever, dude.
Nope.
I mean, we did say that Ritter is better than Jalen Hurts. So
I did not say that.
That's just shows you how much.
He did say that. So,
guys, don't lie on the pod. It's not a good look.
I mean, I'll post a text
We were
message
trying to
if
be
you want me
professional,
to.
but you made it an unprofessional environment.
That was a
Wayne,
loaded-
so you did this to our.
The Nico was a loaded question. You know it.
All right. And this is the new segment we're rolling out, guys. Are you ready for it? It's one thing that you hated and one thing that you did that you liked. It could be something that you saw this week or this past week, I should say, and you saw it like for a long time, and it just kind of like popped up in your head. You're like, oh, I don't like that, or that's stupid, or it could have just been a one-time thing that you didn't like. And I'll start it out. I'll go with one thing I didn't like, and we talked about this before. It's when people smug smile after screwing up. It's the worst thing, man. I saw Lamar did it when like he I think he overthrew. There was that pass to Mark Andrews where he threw it over like 10 feet above his head and was just like, and like that kind of like, I don't think that initially lost them the game, but it definitely stalled the drive, and he just came back to the bench like, cool, dude. Yeah. Meanwhile, all of your friends are like cussing you out, and the coaches are like, what the hell is this guy doing? This guy's just having the time of his life, being up 3 to the Pittsburgh Steelers, whatever. Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't like. Go ahead, Wink.
Now, before I go, we want to make a distinction because I messaged you about this. When Dak threw his pick, he also smiled, but that was not a smug smile.
That wasn't no. So like that was like there's a difference. There is a difference. There's the smug smile. It's like, yeah, that was a fuck up. And then it's like I'll take off my glasses. It's like the see that's the kind of smile where it's like I'm just giving up, and that's understandable. That's understandable because I do that shit. I'm just like what else can I do?
Anything right,
man? It's just no, exactly. There's a difference. Yeah.
All right, fair. All right, so I'll start with what I don't like too, and I'm gonna go with turf fields because my boy Travis Kelce almost got hurt.
Another biased take, man.
No.
Another biased.
So let me
take.
expand on that. Think about some of the injuries this year: Saquon, Kelce, Justin Jefferson. Kelce and Jefferson both got hurt last week on the same stupid fucking field. Like, I don't understand why the NFL, who makes billions of dollars, and they know that players are getting hurt each week playing on these fields, can't require stadiums to do that. Like, the guys that are like the faces of the league are getting hurt every week they play on these things, and they continue to do it, and it makes no sense.
To that point, though.
Rodgers too. There's another one.
Yeah, but to that point, like I agree with the Rodgers and Kelce injuries because it's like a plant and the turf grabs your foot and you either roll your foot, pop your Achilles, something like that. But for the Justin Jefferson thing, he like pulled a hamstring. I think that's just like a running problem, not necessarily a turf problem. But I agree with your
Yeah,
take,
it's like I was just listing players that have gotten hurt, but like if you really look back at all the guys that have gotten hurt this year, like the majority of them are from like those non-contact injuries, those plant injuries. Like the majority of them are playing on turf, and like it's something that you can easily fix. Like maybe not easily, but like they can fix, and they just choose not to.
I don't think the NFL has enough money to do that kind of stuff, though. So you got to feel for that.
That's true. They're
as well.
Pinching pennies.
Yeah. Go ahead, Steve. What'd you hate over the weekend? I know you had a really hard time trying to find out one thing you didn't like, but what is it?
So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing. Oh, my home's at 3 intersections. There's nothing like specifically that I saw that I hated this weekend. But one thing I do hate is when like offensive coordinators, or even just like head coaches, they try to be like smart and like rest their like star running back for like 4 drives or like a whole quarter sometimes. Like the guy where you come in and they'll be running all over the team up and down the field, and they're like, oh no, we need to sit him out and rest him for like a couple of drives now and save him for later in the game. But meanwhile, you put in your backup running back, you go 3 and out, 3 straight drives, and now you're down 14-0, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? What are we gonna do? I just hate when coaches are like, they think it's a video game, and they're like, oh, if we save our player now, you put him in the third quarter, and he's like a 99 player with 100% energy, he's gonna run over him. It's like, no, feed your playmakers the ball, feed your workhorse the ball, and score points.
Yeah, I'm with you, especially when it involves my star running back, Kenneth Walker, and they have Zach Charbonnet in there. Oh,
yeah.
It's just, I feel like that situation is just going to be another Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon situation where it's like, you give them both the same opportunity, but one guy is clearly better than the other guy. But that being said, I loved watching the farmer hit AJ Dillon mowing the fields at 12 o'clock at night. So I have a different opinion, completely different opinion. I love the guy now. He's my favorite player in the NFL.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing where you see like the one running back take the ball all the way down the field. They get to the 30-yard line and they sub him out and put in like the fullback or like the third string guy for the touchdown. They're just like, what's going on right now?
Yep. I am with you. All right, and then one thing I like, and dude, this is kind of twofold, so I'll make it quick. And Wink is really gonna like this, but Fields is back, baby. Fields is back for fantasy, and it's amazing. He had me worried the first 3 weeks, but he is back, dude. 35, 40-point weeks. It's given me complete confidence in starting him, especially because Richardson went down, and that's who I had as my backup quarterback. So I am stoked to see Fields completely tear up these defenses that he's been doing the past 2 weeks. That's what I really loved about last week. But did you guys? I saw you doing the.
Oh, it's just who do they play next week?
Wanted to interject.
Or who do they play this week?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Wink. He's gonna throw and run all over everybody. Everybody, dude.
I'm just curious.
I actually put a bet in. I threw $10 at him being the passing touchdown leader by the end of the year, plus 3,500 odds. Can't beat those odds.
So bad.
Can't beat those. He has 11 touchdowns right now, dude. Oh man, it's great. And then also McCaffrey. I really like, because I am a Carolina fan, and watching him kind of waste away in Carolina, I was just like, dude, this guy is so good. He just does not deserve to be on the team. So seeing him in that offense is just cool. That guy, as much as anybody, deserves a Super Bowl. And I think they're going to do it this year. So that's what I love. I just love seeing McCaffrey getting what he deserved, really.
All right, my love, which goes back to our previous conversation about Sean Payton, seeing Nathaniel Hackett celebrate after coordinating the Zach Wilson-led Jets against the guy that trashed him in the offseason was one of my favorite things I think I've seen all year. That was hysterical. Like,
you're talking about the guy that put up 25 whole points against the worst defense in the NFL.
But like that doesn't matter, because like thinking about Sean Payton, like just pissed off they like lost the game. He already knows it's coming, and then he has to watch like the highlights of them in the locker room and them giving the game ball to Matt Hackett, who did absolutely jack shit, and they're all like celebrating him. That makes me so happy, because Sean Payton's an asshole.
Didn't the Jets head coach tell Sean Payton to be humble, like at the end of the game, like when they were shaking hands?
Yeah, he did. That's cool. I like him, dude. I think Salah's a man.
Yeah, he seems like a down there kind of guy.
All right, Steve, give us what you love, man.
One thing I love seeing happen is when a team is going for it on fourth down, and then the coach gets scared and calls like a last-minute timeout. But like before the official timeout happens, the play happens and they get the first down. But then they give them the timeout, so they have to do it again, and they don't get the fourth down.
I know what you're saying.
Like I just love seeing them fail because the coaches didn't have like the.
No, I know what he's talking about, when the coach is like running down the sideline, like pushing the timeout to the ref. And
you love this. You love the stupidity.
Yeah, because then it always shows them after, and they're like, "Oh, it worked out."
And they call a timeout, and like they see the plan, and like, "Oh no, I didn't mean to call a timeout. Like you do, I didn't mean to. No, it's fake." And it's like, no, dude, like just go for it, man, go for it.
I'm with you, dude. Well, all right. You guys been waiting around this whole time, just watching us talk about nonsense. You get our picks, so you're welcome. Maybe not these two picks. Maybe not, because these guys are losing you money right now. I'm making you money. So, why are you shaking your head, Wink? I mean, it's the truth.
Saying, I got a chart of model data next to me, and I'm ready to.
Yeah, Wink's made a new model, so we're testing it out.
I'm ready to bust my data all over this podcast.
Absolutely, dude. Go for it. All right. I guess we can do this one by one again. I'll start out. And I got numbers for you boys. I have my own analysis and my own stats. But first one, I'm going Minnesota, Chicago, over of 43.5 points. And that's only because Chicago is 24th in plays per game, Minnesota is 23rd plays per game. And what that tells me is basically they try to move the ball as much as they can, and if they don't, they punt it off, and then the other team is probably going to do the same thing. So hopefully it's not a punt fest. And to add to that, Chicago is giving up 30 most points. I should say are ranked 30th in giving up points per game, and Minnesota is 23rd in that same category. So I think this is 100% going to hit 43.5. Go ahead, Steve.
So, I mean, when I saw this, I thought it had to be a mistake at first, and I absolutely hammer this. But I'm going with the 49ers spread. When I saw it, it was 49ers -7 against the Browns, especially with Deshaun Watson probably not going to play for the second week in a row.
-8 now, ain't it?
I'm not sure what it is at this moment, but like when I was making these picks, it was -7. And I just don't see how the 49ers just don't absolutely blow the Browns out of the water this week. I mean, you saw what who was the Browns quarterback when they played against the Ravens like 2 weeks ago?
It's -10 now. You still want it?
-10, a little bit steep for me. Maybe buy.
Well, you gotta go by it. I mean, our viewers, they don't see this, man. We gotta do it for the viewers.
I'm still gonna ride with the -10. Take the
super
49ers.
confident. Love it.
I mean, that's a 5-0 team coming in against a team that is just god awful, and without the Deshaun Watson playing, they're gonna get even worse.
I like it, dude. That confident. All right, give it to us, Wayne.
Okay, my first pick is going to be the Seahawks. They're +3 versus the Bengals. And I touched on it a little bit earlier. Seattle has one of the highest pressure rates in the league, and Cincinnati is one of the worst teams against facing pressure in the league, and that's a recipe for disaster. And if you're getting 3 points, you take the 3 points.
Now, are you saying, when we're taking in pressure rate, is that just amount of plays that they've gotten? That's obviously the amount of plays they've gotten pressure on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that Giants game is a little skewed in that category because they had 9 sacks in that game, and it was just a shit show.
Yeah, but this is over the course of the season. You take the data you got, and you
okay.
Everything balances out to what it should be.
You're wrong, Matt. I hope you're wrong because that's not good for my chase. Okay. And this second one, Cowboys Chargers, Dallas -2. So I actually had to. What is that? One of yours?
No, but go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I like Dallas -2. And check out this stat, guys. I had to Google this. This took me 30 minutes to go back and forth to check it against the spreads and stuff like that. For the last 3 years, so since McCarthy's been with the Cowboys, they are 9-1 on the money line and 8-1-1 against the spread after a loss. You can't beat those numbers. You can't beat those numbers. That's a solid number.
That's pretty solid.
Solid numbers. So if they screw me, then they screw the stats, and that just tells you that the NFL is rigged against me and my bet. But you can't beat that stat.
You know what? I'll go next because I had the Chargers-Cowboys game as well, but I'm on the opposite side. I'm saying give me Chargers.
You're saying Chargers
all day long. I mean, it's just straight up who is the better team. I think the Chargers are the better team. I mean, we just talked about it. We just talked about it. Cowboys are fraud. Dak is not that good. 1-4 coming in against the Chargers.
9-1 after a loss, though, Steve. 8-1 against the spread.
Hey, 9-1. It happened, right? They lost once.
Oh my gosh, Steve! I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to help you, dude.
Chargers spread.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for our viewers. Unreal, dude. Okay. What's your stat? Where's your stat to back you up? Oh, Cowboys suck. You don't have numbers, do you?
It's a gut feeling. Who's the better team?
You know, it's a fraud. You're a fraud. That's
betting is simple. Who's the better team? Don't look too much into it.
What's your second one?
It's not simple. You need to have a model.
You need to have a model if a team is bad against pressure rate, and a team is good against pressure rate. That's my model.
Here's a fun stat for you. It also involves pressure rate. Tampa Bay at plus 3 versus Detroit, and Tampa Bay is the only team in the league that, when pressured, has a positive expected point added. So they do better than not when they're pressured. Detroit has one of the highest pressure rates in the league. It's not a good.
I feel like this is a trap game too.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Tampa is what? They're 4-1 now, right? I think they've only lost one.
Are they 4-1?
I think so. Either 3-2 or 4-1.
I think they're 3-2, maybe. I don't think they're 4. Well, they had a bye this past week.
Oh, then they're 3-1, I think.
1. Damn. I didn't realize that. I mean, that their 3 wins are the Vikings, Bears, and Saints, but still they're 3-1.
Yeah.
Now I think that because I saw that Detroit spread, I'm just like, it seems too good to be true. And usually when it is, it is. So yeah, I agree with that. Okay, my last one. I'm gonna go with the Titans team total under 18.5 because they think the Ravens have a really good defense, and that's kind of it. Like, I feel like Titans only have success when they're able to run the ball. I don't think the Ravens are going to allow them to run the ball, and I think they're just going to hold them to under 18.5 because they're going to go down. They're going to try to pass, and Tannehill is washed. So that's my reasoning.
Steve?
Give me the Jags money line against the Saints. Coming off 2 big wins in London.
What is that, plus odds or is that? What is that?
No, they have it as, I think it's like minus 110 for both. They basically have it as a coin flip between the Jags and the Saints.
It's minus 192.
It says minus 110 in mine.
They're favored by 4 points.
What? On draft
the Jags
teams?
against the Colts? Yeah.
No, the Jags versus the
Jags aren't playing the Saints.
Yeah. Oh, Jags. I'll do that next week. Jags, Colts, minus. Oh yeah. Either way, give me the Jags money line.
But next week though.
Rumplemen podcast, hottest place to get picks for the next week's games.
Next week as well. But yes, Jags, Colts. Like I said, come off 2 great wins in London. Last Sunday was against the Bills. Granted, the Bills had to travel to London, so they're probably a little tired, not their normal self, but I'm still saying Jags money line.
This guy gives a spread that he saw 3 days ago that was 3 points less than what it is now, and he gives a next week money line pick.
Well,
you just came prepared. You just came prepared.
If you did the podcast on Monday, when I had this all typed out, we would have been fine.
It's not that hard to go into DraftKings and check the odds again.
Why are you acting like you've been like trying to make the podcast happen on a Monday? That's never even been discussed.
Dude, we all know Thursdays is the best podcast day.
I get the plan.
I'll let you have that. All right, so what are you taking again? Jacksonville minus 4?
No, give me the Jacksonville money line.
Minus 192. Great. So to our viewers, you have to bet $2,000 to win $20, guys.
You got to take an even odds pick for this is against
that is true. Yeah,
you can't take a favorite.
You can't do that. Yeah.
All right, you know what? Fine. Give me Jags minus 4. Give me the spread.
You know what? I'm gonna switch. I'm just gonna take Eagles money line. You know, it's kind of the same thing, right? Is what it is. All right, so you're taking Jags spread with next week's data backing you up. Awesome.
I'm gonna take the alternate over for the 49ers game at over 29 points.
Wait, say that again. Wait.
So I'm going to take the alternate over for the 49ers game at 29 points. I think it's like minus 8,000.
All right, that's fair.
So,
fair.
No, third pick is going to be Arizona plus 7 versus the Rams, and my reasoning there if Josh Dobbs doesn't turn the ball over,
You don't love Puka.
the Rams play about 3/4 of the time. They run a zone running defense, and the Cardinals are the best in the league against zone running defenses. So if they cannot turn the ball over, control the clock, play a low scoring game, I think they'll keep it within 7.
I like it. Plus division games too, so those games are always close. Cool. All right, so our picks are in, guys. So if you want to get next week's pick, I'm sorry. Or I should say like 2 weeks from now. I'm sorry you're going to have to wait till next week for Steve's picks 2 weeks from now. But yeah. and then we're doing another new segment, guys. We're full of new segments today. This is for you, the subscribers, since you guys put food on our table, so thank you. But yeah, so does anybody want to start this out? I can start.
Well, what's the segment?
Oh shit, you're right. I gotta say the segment. Jesus. Typical podcast thing. Sorry guys. The segment is we're calling it so you're saying there's a chance parlay or straight up bet that the bet has to be plus 350 or higher, or I should say greater odds. And that's kind of it right now. I'll kick us off. So my parlay, I'm going with the Rams money line, the Lions money line, the Eagles money line, and Atlanta Washington over 42.5, and those odds come out to be plus 442. And the reasoning, I think the money line picks are kind of self-explanatory. I just think they're the better team, and they're pretty decent. Well, I got the Lions winning, so that kind of goes against what you were saying before wins. But the Atlanta Washington's second worst defense in the league. Atlanta's second least amount of sacks in the league. So I don't think they're going to get pressure on Sam Howell. I think he's actually a decent quarterback, and he's going to be able to move the ball against Atlanta. And Atlanta last week too, there might be a flash in the pan of what's to happen the rest of the season. But they look like they kind of moved the ball a little bit, put up some points. So I like the over 42.5 on that one.
All right, Steve.
All right, I'll go next. So this is where the viewers are really going to make their money after those 3 picks. Coming in at plus 15.
This week, right?
Huh?
This week, right?
I'm pretty sure it's this week. If not, get it now while the line's still
Yeah, we got to check your facts, dude.
He's like, I'm taking the Dolphins to make the playoffs.
So it starts off Chiefs money line with the under, and when I placed this bet, it was 47.5 line.
What are we doing here?
Huh?
You're giving your pick of the week
tomorrow.
to a game that's already happening?
This started before it happened. But all right, fine. Take that part out. Anyway, I'll continue on. Ravens money line, 49ers money line, Dolphins money line, Rams under 40.5.
You gotta calm down. Hold on. Do that again. Ravens money line.
49ers money line.
49ers money line. Okay.
Dolphins money line.
Dolphins money line.
Rams under.
Rams. Who are they playing in Arizona, right? You got the under for that game. I had the over, dude.
Under 48.5.
Yikes. Oh wait, not that game. Never mind.
And then Chargers money line.
And Chargers money line. And those odds are what?
Well, if you include the Chiefs stuff, it was plus 15.67.
Including that. I'll let you do that.
This podcast isn't going to be out till Monday anyway, so it's not that they're going to see these Sunday picks.
It'll be out before Monday.
What? It took me like 33 days to get the podcast out last time.
This guy.
Dude, no. Not at all. Okay, well, do the odds again on your phone so I can put it into the doc.
Let's see.
And then wait, you can go.
Okay. Well, mine's based off my spreads anyway, so we're taking all 3 of those spreads. Arizona, Tampa and Seattle, and that goes out to plus 1875
Oh, so you're just taking
money lines.
the spread. Okay. Oh, wait, what?
Taking Tampa money line, Arizona money line, Seattle money line.
You're taking Arizona money line at plus 7?
Yep.
All right.
So
And that comes out
plus 672.
plus 672.
So it's not as enticing, but if we were more organized, we could have got this out with the Chiefs. But you know,
It doesn't have anything to do with
it
being organized. The podcast is literally done during the game.
So you were saying, wait, hold on. You were saying that this bet was initially plus 1,800 odds, but you taking out the Chiefs money line, they were probably like 10-point favorites this week, reduced it to 672.
Yeah, it's not.
No. So when I made this on Thursday or Wednesday night, when I originally made this, it was plus 19 something.
There's no shot.
Yeah, it 100% was.
I don't believe that.
Because the Dolphins are up to like minus 1,000 now. They're not that high. And then when I just made it at the beginning of the podcast, I can show you the screenshot. It's 15. It was 15.67. And I take out the Chiefs, and it's just the remaining of them. It's plus 672 now.
Wait,
there's no shot.
There's no way that the Chiefs. You took the Chiefs spread or the Chiefs money line?
I took the Chiefs money line and the under off.
Okay, and the under.
Okay, and the under. Okay, all
there
right.
we go.
I thought you were just saying the money line. I'm like, there's no shot that a money line game where they're favored by 10 points takes off 1,000 points.
Yeah.
No. I said Chiefs money line and the under in that game.
What was yours again, Wink? What was your odds?
The odds were plus 1875.
Wow, you guys went way. I said plus 350, fellas. Sheesh.
Okay.
You're really trying to lose our
If
viewers
it
some
hits,
money,
it
huh?
hits.
Man, all right. Well, that kind of does it for us then.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have to sign us off with a rumple. We did that last week, and it's like kind of a thing now. Yeah, sign us off with a rumple, Wink.
Bump it up.
Let's see if I can gulp.
Are we? Yeah.
Looking back at it, did you hear how loud you actually gulped?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as bad as you guys said, but
It's pretty bad.
the
All
the
right.
reruns accentuated it a bit.
Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. We'll see you guys next
Like and
week.
subscribe. Yep. Smash that subscribe button.
Cheers.
Sorry for
everyone.
the unprofessional pick by Wink. Attaboy. All right, guys.
That's a good one.